Fresh outside of Lake Led by rental car will be parked.
Yeah. How you doing? Good to see you, Jeff. Good. How you doing? All right. Well, to start off, as far as injuries with Bryce, he has a left foot that's going to keep him out here as we go. So it's unfortunate. He's had a heck of a season and has been playing really well. So he'll have that to deal with. But we're like I said, we're appreciative of how hard he's played all year long, and it's a tough deal for him. That's it as far as the injuries, and then just getting ready, geared up here, putting that game behind us, and it was a good win for us. But now we're gearing up here and getting ready to go this week to have a good week of practice.
What's the significance? You could go to the playoffs, clinch the division at home against the Packers of all teams.
Yeah.
What's the mood this week like because of that?
Well, it's I think overall the guys understand the situation that we've put ourselves in, and that's what we've worked for. We've worked hard to get to this point, and so. But again, it's very similar to the Giants loss that we had, where it was one that we wish we could have back. We couldn't. We had to put that behind us, and now. We've done a good job all year long at just focusing at week by week, and I know it sounds cliche, but we've done that, and so great win for us against LA, and now we got to put that behind us, and the only thing we can do is control how we play at home here against Green Bay, and the guys know that the energy's good, and to be able to have the other stuff that goes with it is good.
Callahan out for the season.
Say that.
Bryce out for the year?
I'm not going to say anything's 100%, but it seems that way. But I hate to put just say for sure any way or the other.
Not going on IR.
No, he will be. I guess I should say that he is going on IR is the best way to put that. So.
And it's Marcus Williams, did we see a report?
Yeah, you saw that right. Yep.
Does Bryce need surgery?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Kind of the way he did it too, it was just kind of just going to cut back on a screenplay. It's just unfortunate.
Obviously, the last thing you said was a long time ago. What's the one thing, or the biggest area of growth, or the one thing that really stands out, the difference in this team now, would you say, from then to now?
From the
Packers.
yeah, for the best part I like about it is they get to see what I meant when I sat in that locker room after the game and told them that we got to learn from it, and that there's a lot of weeks in the season, and that was one tough week. It was disheartening. It was frustrating. It was discouraging. There's so many feelings that we had after that game, but now they get to see that it is a long season, and they get to if you stick together and you just ride through those highs and lows the right way, you can get to this point. And so there's still 3 games left in the season, and this is the game that we have, and we're in a great position now. We need to go out there and play our best.
Matt, prior to becoming a head coach, how much had you considered using some of the unconventional personnel groupings that you have, and you've talked about the value of that beyond just the points on the board. How much had you considered what that might bring to a program when you had the chance to be a head coach?
Yeah, I knew that. I've always been into that. I always have been. Coach Reed's into it as well. So I just kind of learning through him and seeing the progressiveness of being a little bit different out of the box. And so once we, in Kansas City, we started doing more of that. I knew that if I ever got an opportunity, that was an avenue that I was going to go towards. And we have coaches that feel that way as well. So it's easy when you have guys that agree with you, and you have players that accept it and they like it, and they're working. So it's just who I am.
So as you took over the team and you start working through camp and practices and stuff, and you're installing the main offense, but you've got your eyes open to a guy like Brad Soule.
Yeah.
How do you first get turned on to his ability to make a catch and say, all right, he's a guy that I'll use and incorporate in this?
Well, you see these guys so often in practice, and there's so many downtimes in between periods or, during the stretch or after practice, and they're all big kids. And so they're all out there, and every now and then they'll do some things, and they want to catch your eye, and maybe they do sometimes, and that could be a situation. But it's amazing. Now, you got to remember now, I came from the Arena League, so they call that Ironman football, 2 ways. right? Now, I didn't do that because I was a quarterback. I couldn't move on defense. But yeah, I mean, it's people have been doing this for a long time. It's just not everybody does it. And so we do it, and we have fun with it.
What did you bring from the Arena League then? I mean, specifically, is it just a line of thinking that guys can do it if they're athletes?
Well, I mean, let's face it. Every one of these guys, I mean, the percentage is extremely small in regards to who makes the NFL. All these guys were all-stars on their high school team, and they all played both ways growing up. So they got it in them. And it's like these pitchers in baseball that can't hit. They were probably their all-star, the number 4 cleanup hitter in their high school team, most likely. And then they phase away from it because they specialize in something. But they all got it in them. And so and then they like to tell you their stories, too, of how good they are. So they don't shy away from that.
Is there a tactical advantage or disadvantage to having played the Packers before? Kansas City, they were real good at winning the second game in the division. Is there anything to be gained by that, or was it so far long ago that it's just like it never was?
Yeah, well, they're a different team. They've had some injuries. Again, the course of the season, you run the course of the season and you kind of create your identity, who you are. And same with us, too, So, but every game is its own game. And that was a big win for them last week against Atlanta. And obviously they got Aaron back there at quarterback, so anything can happen on any given Sunday. But for us, we feel like we're different and in a better way. That was our very first game ever playing together, standing on the sideline together, calling a timeout for the first time, talking through situations. We've done that now. We've been through that. We've been calloused. So we feel stronger, but that doesn't mean it's going to change anything. We got to go out and play.
I imagine you've talked about this before, but Mitch's nickname in high school, Favre, I guess his coaches used to call him.
What was it?
Favre.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about that?
Hey, it is what it is. I didn't know that. That's news to me. But I can see. I mean, he's a tough quarterback. He's got that wing it to him, which you appreciate and you love. But I got a lot of respect for Brett Favre as a quarterback. But I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Do you appreciate what Rodgers has done in terms of throwing one pick all year?
Yeah, that's impressive. That's hard to do. And he's a guy that's seen a lot of different defenses. He's been in that offense for a long time, so the game's slow to him. And then he's got that extreme talent, or he can, he has some of the best arm talent that this game has ever had. So he's got a great mentality. He goes about the game the right way. And but it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Coming out of that Packers game, talking about lessons from that game, for you personally, what did you learn about how Mike Pettin kind of attacked you guys in the second half in that game?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that. I feel like that's a little bit of gamesmanship as far as what he did and what I know he did. But I think I say this: Coach Pettin is a really good defensive coordinator. He's a really strategic type guy that has a lot of different types of schemes that keeps you off balance as a play caller, and so we got to really take advantage of knowing exactly what we're doing at all times versus a lot of different looks, and I think you see that throughout these coordinaters, these defensive coordinators, they mix things up on you and they can make it challenging. So he's been that good at that position for a long time, and so we'll have our hands full.
Matt, you talked about the team being able to put losses behind them, move forward one game at a time. How has Mitch matured in his ability to do that, even when coming off a win where he didn't perform
Yeah.
when he wants to?
His ability to understand that the win is the most important part, I think, is part of his growth. And he's at a point right now where he's still learning some parts of this offense. If there's maybe a new concept, whether it's in the run game or the pass game, but he's able to digest that and understand it and accept it, that it's not always going to be perfect. And we may need to learn through the game as far as different looks that we're getting and how we adjust and how we adapt. And so he's got to just continue to keep building that library and use that down the road here, but stay positive. And he's the leader of this offense, and the guys look to him. So any frustration, any type of ability of him to not show leadership or any of that, we don't want. And he hasn't done that. And I think Coach Ragone does a great job at keeping him focused and making sure that he keeps that next play mentality, which he's done all year long.
A lot of time has passed since that week one loss to the Packers.
Yeah.
That was a game that a lot of the guys in the locker room said was a really emotional loss for them that they still think about. So do you think they enter this game on Sunday with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder?
It's the human element of, you always remember all your losses, way more than you remember your wins. Now, and they sting, they hurt, especially when you have the lead like we did, and we didn't finish like we needed to. So they remember that, and they feel. I want them to feel that. I want them to remember that, and because sometimes when you go on through the season and you have success like we've had, you can forget that sting. And I don't want them to forget that sting. It's because we got a ways to go yet here, and I think that they'll do a good job at realizing what we had, even that first game, where we're at now, and now let's see if we grew from it.
Matt, this end up kind of being a positive thing
Yeah.
for you guys this year?
Yeah, it did, and that's for myself, it was challenging because that was my very first game as a head coach. And to have a lead like that in a big-time rival game, and then to lose it like that, but I felt like I've learned some lessons in life in different ways, and the one thing that I've always tried to do is try to look at things and try to see the positives of everything, the glass half full, and that's what I did by myself on my own, is trying to spin. There was something good in there, and the problem is that it takes time to realize that and to really see when that happens. Well, I feel like we're there now. We got to that point where now how do we use that, and how do we remember that? How do we use parts of the game specifically to help us in this coming game and in the future? And that's what we're going to do. And it just, the theory holds true. You stay positive during bad times.
What's enabled Kyle Fuller to play at the level that he has been the last couple months?
Just the confidence in himself, the confidence in his teammates. He's staying aggressive. And then when he gets an opportunity to make a play, he's making those plays. Again, it's something that our defense is doing. They're just getting stronger and stronger in their belief in each other. They're playing fast, and they're playing with an opportunistic mindset.
Man, this might be an obvious question, but what could establishing a more consistent running game mean to Mitch's development, whether reestablishing some rhythm or just getting back in the swing of things?
For sure, it would be really big for us to do that. Any quarterback you talk to will tell you that to have that run game going, man, it makes things a lot easier. It opens up the play actions. It opens up the shots downfield. The D-line doesn't just pin you all the time. The O-lineman will tell you, let's get the run game going so we can go forward and not always be going backwards in a pass set. So that was nice to get that going the other day. We need to build off of it. I feel like that was one step forward. Now we got to make sure we just continue with that next step going forward.
Mitch had what I would say is a pretty honest moment with us after the game. You touched on this a little bit before, but him just kind of admitting that he was trying not to be selfish about feeling disappointed in his performance after such a big win for the team.
Yeah.
How was he, when you talked to him after the game or even on Monday, and how's he been the last couple of days?
He's been good. His spirits have been good. When I knew everything was good with him was when I saw him in the locker room after the game, and he was doing a little dancing. And that's what's so cool about that 5 minutes that we get together, was that he's in there, and so he's under some good leadership there with Coach Ragone and with Coach Helfrich and those quarterbacks. They support him. He has a great support system, and we're there for him. And so as long as we're honest with each other and we're open and we just try to go about this thing the right way, his spirits are good. He came in on Monday, and we went through some of the parts of the game, and we tried to hit on the whys, the good and the bad, and try to do everything we can to fix it.
Matt, specifically with RPOs, how have you seen Mitch's decision-making evolve even to this point in the way you guys did it effectively the other night?
He's getting better. And part of that is us, too, as coaches, is putting him in a position where we know the plays that we're calling he feels comfortable with. We don't want to put him in a position where we're running some plays in the pass game or run game where there's a little gray. And right now with where he's at, if there's gray, then I feel like that's on the coaches. We want it to be black and white, nice and clean, so that he can play fast. And so those RPOs, there's a bunch of RPOs that we can do. We want to make sure we're picking the ones that are black and white.
Are you talking about black and white before the snap? Or?
Both.
Okay.
Both. He understands the whole concept of the play, and we're not putting something in there where there's a little gray, a little iffiness on what he's supposed to do in his progression. We got to, and sometimes as coaches, you can put those in there because you feel like it's a good play, but if he's not comfortable with it, you can't do it.
Matt, what about Sherrick McCandless makes you confident that he can pick up the workload for Callahan?
Because he's been showing it all year long, you know, and when he's in there, I loved how aggressive he was. He's again, every player on our defense right now has elevated their game. They're playing together. They have the trust that if they're aggressive, they go to make a play, someone's got their back, and he's shown that.
You talked earlier this year about how when you got here, you weren't really sure who this Bryce Callahan guy was.
Yeah.
What did he show you this season with his play?
He showed me a lot in the fact that for his stature, the one thing with Bryce is that he's extremely quick. He's very athletic. I guarantee you he was a really good slot receiver in high school. He's got great hands. He's tough. He's a good kid. I mean, he's very valuable. That's a big loss for us. But with that said, we're going to have the complete mentality of it's the next man up. We're rolling. Bryce is going to be a part of this thing with us as we go. But there's no sulking or none of that, man. It's somebody else's opportunity, and let's go do this thing.
What have you appreciated about Sherrick? I mean, he's been sort of labeled as a special teams ace most of his career. To be able to step up and play the way he has in this defense this year.
It's depth. It's depth, and it's guys that understand that if they do get presented with an opportunity, they got to make the most of it. That's what he's going to do. That's what he did last week. And then his teammates have to have his back and help him. And then if there is a play that he doesn't produce on or he makes a mistake on, then he's got to recover and get back and make the next play.
How long have you been working on the Santa's sleigh play, just thinking about it? And is that a package now where you'll build off it every week?
Well, so we worked on it since Friday of that weekend, and then there's zero chance of me telling you anything else about any other. Good try, though. Thank you. Thank you.
loss to Green Bay, and what's stuck with you since then?
Yeah, we came out strong in the first half on offense, and then second half we didn't come out as aggressive and didn't finish. So the theme for this week is just finish as a team, have a great week of practice, and then we'll get our opportunities in the game, finish, and to help us come out with a win. So we're just very focused and ready to go to work this week, and it's just another week to try to be 1-0.
Matt said he wants you guys to remember the sting of defeat that week one and for it to sit with you. Do you feel like the team has carried that with them and it's maybe extra motivation?
Yeah, for sure. We know it's a rivalry game, so this is important for us even more this week to be 1-0. And we watched some clips from this morning about just getting that sick feeling back, that sting a little bit, and we just want to finish so we don't have that feeling again. So we all want to remember that, and hopefully it just motivates us week to come out, play a little bit harder, and go out there, do our jobs, and make sure we're not feeling that feeling again.
What are some of the things that you admire the most about Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback?
I don't know. I haven't really watched much on him this year. I'm more just focused on continuing to learn this offense and focus on what I got to do in my job this year. So just continue to try to learn and master this offense, focus on myself and my teammates. Obviously, he's had a lot of success, but I'm just focused on what I got to do for my team this year right now.
When you went back and watched the film from Sunday, did you feel like you were rusty at all from the layoff?
I don't know. I think that's just making excuses, saying I could be rusty. Bottom line is I just came out and I didn't make the throws that I needed to make. I didn't do my job necessarily when my team needs me to do my job, and I know I could play better. So for me, it's just this week getting back to the basics, having a great week of practice, putting that game behind us. The most important thing is we came out with a win. Very fortunate my teammates had my back, and we stuck together and grinded one out. But just gotta watch the film, learn from it, put it behind me, and make the throws that I know I can make. So I'm gonna have a great week of practice, go really hard, and fix it for this week.
After you did watch the film, is there one thing that you felt about your own game that you'd like to see improve or that you're gonna work on in practice?
Yeah, for sure. My footwork, rushing it, and just throwing off balance and off rhythm. Just gotta continue to follow through, weight shift, and just make the throws I know how to make. I think I was rushing my footwork a little bit, antsy to get the ball out, excited to get some completions. But I just got to play within myself and this offense, within the timing, and get the ball to our playmakers.
For you, what was it like to see the run game get going, and what could that mean for the entire offense going?
Yeah, it was really good. Sometimes that's how it goes. We have a mindset that we want to establish the run, and the other team made a decision that they were going to take away our pass and kind of zone us out, and that opened up the run game, and the O-line did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage, getting up to the backers and defensive backs, and Tariq and Jordan, they ran super hard getting those extra yards. So it was big for this offense, and we kind of it really opened us up to control the ball, run the clock out in some situations, and pick up positive yards for the offense. So it's really good to see, and sometimes we realize that's how games are going to go, so you just got to do whatever it takes to win.
Mitch, you talked after the game about how you were balancing the fact that you didn't think you played very well with, you should be happy the team won.
Sure.
Matt said afterwards that you saw you dancing, so you knew everything was okay.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of days, does that nagging feeling about not playing well, does that go away? Do you turn the page? How do you balance the fact that you won, but you still...
Yeah, for sure. You get 24 hours to celebrate the win and also review the film and think about all the mistakes you made and try to improve them at the same time. So no matter what, the number one thing for me is wins and losses. So when we win, I'm definitely going to celebrate with my teammates because it's always special to get those wins, and we know how hard it is in this league. So we're always going to cherish those, have a good time, and be in the locker room dancing, having a great time with my guys. But at the same time, I know I could play a lot better, and I'm hard on myself. And I just want to do a lot better for my team and do my job and do it a lot better. So I'm going to just work really hard this week, get back to the basics, and correct a lot of those mistakes. But, yeah, you just got to put your own selfish thoughts on the side sometimes and just be thankful that you came away with a win, and our team's in a great position going forward. So it's a lot of fun being a part of this.
Come with maturity, learning that?
Yeah, sure. I think it definitely does. I think as you get older, gain experience, or just maturity in general, you have a different perspective about different things, and you realize that Some things are more important than the others, and winning is more important than making a few mistakes in the game. So you can't dwell on the mistakes. Focus on the things you did well, correct the mistakes, and just be happy you won and move on to the next game. So we're gonna, that whole game and the mistakes I made and everything, we'll put that behind us, and we got a new challenge this week, and that's what I'm focused on. That's what this team's focused on.
A bit of a random one, but how did you get the nickname Favre in high school?
Yeah, that's another thing. Kind of in the past, I'm done with that nickname. Nobody calls me that no more. So, just focused on playing this week and doing my job.
Didn't you get those like Favre notes or something though?
Yeah, that was back in high school. So, I don't play for Green Bay. It was just a nickname. It was back in the day. So, I'm Chicago Bears quarterback now. Has nothing to do with that. And just focus on this week. So I'm not even going to speak on it because it's in the past.
As Matt talks about making things black and white for you, trying to eliminate the shades of gray. When you are seeing new defenses, or maybe from like a Wade Phillips or a Mike Zimmer, what are some of the things you can rely on as you continue to build this library to make sure you're navigating these defenses the way you want to?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to go back to focusing on our offense, focusing on my job, what I need to do, and just trusting my eyes and my feet. So whatever they show out there on defense, just try to recognize it best they can, even if they've never shown it on film before, which the previous team did a lot of. Just getting back to the basics and going through my read. Pure progressions help a lot. And just taking what the defense gives you. So not trying to do too much, just stay within your job description and just go out there and do what you got to do. So, hopefully that answered it.
From an RPO standpoint and the success you guys had last week, how do you feel like you've gotten better making those quick decisions that you need to get that part?
Yeah, for sure. Just more and more reps throughout the season. And again, taking what the defense gives you. So just having your eyes on the read key, having a good mesh with the running backs, and making quick split-second decisions. So the more reps you can get at it in practice in the game, at certain looks, it's definitely a tough thing for defenses to defend. So we're just going to continue to use it and get better at it going forward.
What are the things that Matt has done to make that a little easier for you? So what?
Yeah, just you're talking about the RPO games?
Just everything, the decision-making, your own growth.
That's a pretty general question, but I think the more that me and Coach can communicate, and he could just continues to coach me up, and I continue to ask questions, and I have that want and desire to get better and better and try to really master this offense and everything that's going into it. So we're just trying to evolve as a team, and our relationship is continually getting better and better, and the more we communicate, the more that I can realize exactly what he envisions for this offense and what he envisions for me to be as a player. So I think constant communication always helps, and feedback and me asking questions, and just continue to be on the same page.
For as exciting as
What more about in the RPO game?
Same thing. Just reps, continue to talk about it.
for as exciting as the Rams win was, how special would it be to win the division by beating the Packers on Sunday?
It would be very exciting. It'd be very exciting. We know this is a big week for us, and a lot comes with it, but we just got to keep it simple. Everyone go out there, play hard, play together, everyone do their job, and just focus on being 1-0. So if you try to make it bigger than what it is, sometimes you lose track of what you need to do. So I think if everyone just stays locked in, focused, and just stay concentrated on that theme of finishing, then we'll be in a good spot to do what we want to do.
What do you think is the biggest difference in this team, in the Bears, from week 1 to now?
The biggest difference in this team, I think just experience, sticking together. We're really the only ones that believe that we could possibly be in this position. Just believing in each other, believing in our coach, believing in the plan, and just going out there and really making it happen. No one else thought we'd be in position, but we always thought we could by the way we work, the type of guys we have on this team, our love for each other, and our love for this game. So we're just focused on being 1-0 this week and going out there, leaving it all on the field, and enjoying another opportunity to be on the field with our brothers.
You talked about how maybe eager you were Sunday night. Looking back, did you make too big a deal out of national TV, the Rams return?
Nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't national TV. It wasn't who we were playing. I was just excited to be back out there with my guys. So I was focused on the wrong things, coming out there and trying to make big plays and try to go out there and do too much. I should have just had a more focused mindset. Okay, I just need to do my job. I just need to find completions. I just need to focus on catch the snap, do my footwork, and get the ball to my playmakers rather than being too amped up about being out there with my guys and trying to make all-world plays. I just need to go out there, do my job, but national television and who we're playing has nothing to do with that. I just got to stay within my job description and stay focused and do what's asked of me.
When the Packers watch the film of the first game, they'll obviously see the same players. How much different, though, of an offense do you think they're going to see in this game? Or better,
I mean, we definitely got better with the experience throughout the course of the season, and we're always coming up with new things, but they're going to throw some new things at us on defense, and they've changed and evolved as well. So it'll be an interesting game, but like I said before, I think the focus is just going to be on us this week, focusing on what we got to do, just executing the game plan, having a great week of practice, and going out there and trying to keep them off balance and trying to keep that up consistently for 4 quarters and just continue with that theme of finishing. So hopefully we just put out a product on the field that's very hard to cover, and we're just rolling on offense and come out with a good rhythm. And I think if we just execute, everyone does their job, then it can be a tough offense to defend.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.